Thanks so much for joining us on What the Heck is Happening in HR. And today we're talking about harassment, specifically sexual harassment and a little bit of pop culture. For our podcast disclaimer, please visit the episode description. Thanks for coming back to What the Heck is Happening in HR. Today we're going to talk about a little pop culture and a little discrimination, potential discrimination, as recognized by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Yes, I'm talking about Real Housewives. And Andy Cohen. Now, Andy Cohen really started the Real Housewives whole series. And so he's considered the boss of those housewives. He determines where they'll sit. He's responsible for some of the production, and responsible for any of the expansion on it. Certainly has a say in it. He is being sued by a former Real Housewife of Brandi Glanville. And Brandi has said that he sent her an inappropriate message. So what's interesting here is that he is being sued for sexual harassment from Brandi Glanville. And he recognizes that there was a video, and it had another member of the Bravo world, Kay Chastain, as part of it. She's from Below Deck. And that they were talking with Brandi, and clearly, Andy says, it was a joke. And Brandi took it as a joke. And so he is surprised at getting this sort of legal paperwork. So it gives us an opportunity, and my students will be sure to laugh about this because I do talk about pop culture a lot, because HR is everywhere. And this gives us an opportunity to have a little refresher on sexual harassment. There's two types of sexual harassment. There is the hostile work environment, and there is quid pro quo. Quid pro quo, for you Latin folks, is this for that, meaning sleep with me and I'll promote you, go with me on this trip and you'll get the better schedule, you'll get the better clients to call on. It is this for that. It's fairly blatant. Hostile work environment is what is the situation here between Andy Cohen and his housewife, or former housewife. And it is about creating an environment where it is feeling wrong, where the person has been put down, they feel, because of their sex. That it doesn't have to be the sexual nature, though that was part of the conversation that was made, but it is really about an unwelcomed advances or requests for sexual favors, or perhaps even teasing. But if the teasing is frequent and severe, it creates that hostile or offensive work environment. So she was let go from the Real Housewives. This took place after she was let go, but it still will have an impact on the whole conversation. So the keys here are, one, alcohol seems to have been involved in this. So whenever you have managers, whenever you have employees, whenever you have clients, and you're out at a trade show, you're out at a marketing event, or you're just at happy hour, please be careful. We know that you can have loose lips when it comes to alcohol, and we want people to continue to be in a professional way with it. So the other item you need to take a point with here is that Andy's the supervisor, or at least part of the leadership team at this point, and was when Brandi was part of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And so it is about the power, and the power that he has over her. And so sexual harassment doesn't come from just having sex or offering to have sex or wanting to have sex. It can come from the power of creating the atmosphere or changing employment terms. And it doesn't have to be just in a joking way. So again, they all said it sort of looked like a joke, but it doesn't mean that Brandy took it as a joke. And it doesn't mean that anyone else who heard it took it as a joke. So in your workplace where you might be having someone share inappropriate jokes, whether they're of a sexual nature or not, somebody else who has overheard that could file the claim, even though they weren't part of that conversation. So the best thing to do is be sure your supervisors understand what sexual harassment is, understand what hostile work environment is, and understand their personal responsibility to have a respectful, productive workplace. And we hope that you'll find your way back to us every Monday when we drop new episodes on what the heck is happening in HR.